Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
A special good evening to everyone, and of course, for those of you who are watching us on our live stream and of course live on Facebook, it's a pleasure being in your company. And of course, Emancipation Day, greetings to all. Of course, for those of you who are watching this program, some of you are actually, in fact, all of you are watching it live right now, because what happens is that due to an upgrade we are doing at the station here, the program will be unable to be carried live on a Wednesday, but you will be able to see a pre-recorded version of this program on Wednesday, right? So, of course, to those of you just joining us, yes, we are coming to you live from the studios of IBN, Channel 8, number 61, Bamboo Main Road, Bamboo number 2. I'm Inchan Ishmael, your host, and of course, let's get started. And we will be taking your calls, by the way, even though the program is coming to you at an off time. In fact, I decided that we would have done this live last minute. So again, such is the way life goes, right? And of course, this segment is brought to you courtesy of our good friends at Tile Expression. And remember, Tile Expression for all your tiles, ceramic, porcelain, for all your accessories as well, for all your moldings. You can check them out as well. You know, those fancy crew moldings that you normally use when you're doing tiling and your spacers, etc. Give them a shout out right there in Cunupia. Of course, let's get started now as we move on to just a reminder that our assembly takes place on the 31st of August. That's the end of this month. Everyone is supposed to be sharing this all over the country right now, because this affects everyone and will benefit everyone. So on Wednesday the 31st, we will stand united against crime. Remember, all of you, remember, I need you to support this, right? So come back to me, guys, right? So we are looking forward to seeing you. Now, as I said before, many of us have issues, no matter what the issues are. If you were to look at a home, if you were to go into any home and you ask what the issues are, some may tell you, here what's happening. My mother and father are trying to get CDAP drugs and can't get CDAP drugs. We're trying to get a CT scan for the longest while. We can't get a CT scan. We can't get MRI. And you go along again, some people say, boy, this road coming to my house, the road falling apart. Other people may tell you, here what's happening, Red, is over 6 days now we have not gotten water. It's over 2 weeks now. It's over a month we have not gotten water. So it's varied. When you go to each home, you will have different people with different problems, but then you may also go to one community that have common problems. And this is something that we have found in areas where, for example, like in Barapo, where you have people, they have no problems, you know. They have been living without water for a long time, so they have grown accustomed to that. But their concern is here happening. They can't even get to their homes now because of the condition of the roads. So this is what we are hoping to do. What we are hoping to do is to amalgamate everyone who have issues. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. The goal is to pull everybody together under one common umbrella. It does not matter what political affiliation you are to as well, because this is basically going to have everyone across the board coming together. And of course, it's going to be non-political, meaning that at the end of the day, it's not pushing for any political party, but all persons of all political persuasions are invited to come along. And what I want you to do as well, and this is something that I am pleading with you to do, bring your children. Let your children be part of this gathering that we plan to have. And when I say we, this thing is being planned by a group of persons. And let me just advise you, for those of you who would like to be part of the planning and the putting together of this whole thing, my WhatsApp number is going to come on the screen now. That is my number there. WhatsApp me and tell me you would like to be part of the planning committee for this event, the National Assembly. 6844762. WhatsApp me and we'll put you in a group where you can either be part of the infrastructure, you could be part of the planning committee, you name it, whatever it is. Because this is not about me, this is about building Trinidad and Tobago and bringing back Trinidad and Tobago from where it is right now. Because many people will agree that the issues that we have, it's numerous. We can't even count it, and every day as we go by, I think it's even more frustrating now, where even private businesses following the government now, and the service sucks in private business now. And, you know, in the year 2022, we as citizens of our country would expect that here happening now. There would have been some improvements. But when we look at the various ministries, for example, when you look at the Ministry of Works, billions of dollars spent, nothing doing. When you look at the Ministry of Education, billions of dollars spent, and yet you still have schools falling apart. When you look at other ministries as well, Ministry of Local Government, you see the condition of our drains in the various areas. When you go, you check the condition of the roads again, as I said before. You see the grass growing all over. These days, what's saving you when you crash is the grass, Because normally if the grass short, you have no resistance to hold you back. But these days when you crash, you're actually going into grass. So we have to thank the government for helping all those people who crashing and going on the side of the road, because the grass acting as a buffer to protect your vehicle. And God alone knows what else they will do. And they might, for all you know, they might encourage that and they might do it a little more. And they will call it a solution to the problem that we have with speeding in the roads. Anyway, let me just welcome Neil Shers to this segment, and Neil Shers is where you get all your European parts. Remember, for genuine and replacement parts, for body, mechanical, electrical, you can give them a shout out, and of course they will fix you up. No matter if you have a Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Volvo, Porsche, give them a call and tell them that you heard it right here on Breaking Barriers. Let's go again, guys. Police are, now, I want you to check this out. Police are searching for 7 men who shot at a Gasparilla man. They made to dig and lie in a shallow grave on Friday afternoon. The victim survived the ordeal with a bullet graze on his forehead. A police report said the victim told police that around 9 a.m. he was invited for a smoke by the 7 men who he knows very well from the Caratal Road, Gasparilla area. The men reportedly beat him, then placed him in a van and conveyed him to a bushy area. The victim said he was again beaten, then was ordered to dig a shallow grave and lie in it. He reported that the men covered him with dirt, and one of the men fired 2 shots in his direction, one which grazed his forehead. Now, here what happened now. 9 men, right? 9 men. Now, if that man had died, those 9 men would be responsible. But where those men still are responsible is attempted murder. Because, and what was that, even if they were there standing by, what was that they are part and parcel of the whole group. They were witnesses, they acted along with the person who pulled the trigger as well. They are what you consider accomplices. So the fact is that you have 9 men outside there, and one of them apparently who can't shoot very well, because he missed a whole body, right? And I don't know if that was done intentionally just to frighten him, man. But this is where we have reached in Trinidad and Tobago, where people making you dig your own shallow grave. And you could imagine, as a human being, what you are going through. You could imagine as someone who, someone who is in a position where someone hold you and tell you, here what happening, dread. Dig your own grave. You can imagine the trauma, the psychological trauma. I know I wouldn't be able to do it because here what happening, my hand, my leg, everything will be trembling. And you would just not be able to do it. Right? So, I really don't know what's taking place again. And for those of you who are watching this, this is coming to you live now. What happens is that we are live on Facebook and we are live on the various platforms. And of course, later on, we'll check to see how things swing in with the phone line, etc. All right, so let me just ask my guys to remind us of the phone numbers here again. It's 663 8373 and 645-4426, and those numbers are on the screen. And of course, as I said before, this program is coming to you live, so when we open up our phone lines, you would be able to call in and let me hear what your thoughts are, etc., etc., etc. So let's go again to the other slide, guys. Famed cricketer Dwayne Bravo has expressed his concern about rising crime, saying it is painful to see what Trinidad and Tobago is becoming. Growing up, Trinidad was not like this. We were able to do anything with our friends and not have to worry about running and hiding from gunshots. Now, you know what is interesting, huh? Dwayne Bravo is known internationally. You mentioned the name Dwayne Bravo. It is similar to Brian Lara for those who watch cricket. Millions and hundreds of millions know the name Dwayne Bravo. So here it is, you have Dwayne Bravo making a statement about Trinidad and Tobago. Albeit a negative statement, but it is a very factual statement. And one of the things that really, really, really impresses me with that statement is the fact that he is not afraid to say what is happening. Now, interestingly, Dwayne Bravo has made that statement, and the statement that he made, more or less, I am a bit concerned because he does not live in Trinidad and Tobago most of the time. In fact, if you were to count 365 days out of the year, Dwayne Bravo does not spend most of his time in Trinidad and Tobago. So if he is concerned, a man who is overseas most of the time, a man who spends 90% of his time playing cricket abroad and traveling here and there, what does that leave for us, the regular citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? What does that leave for us, the regular Joe? What does that say about we, the people who have to stick it out here? What does that say for the people who cannot afford to leave here and go somewhere else? So to me, it is interesting that Dwayne Bravo will make a statement like that when most of his time is not spent here. So he understands fully well what is going on. But not only that, Dwayne Bravo is not the type of person who cares about self. I know him personally, and I could tell you, the man is a down-to-earth person, and he cares about his community, because Dwayne Bravo, I met his father, and both of them, they had come down by my office, so I know the family personally. And I could tell you that the man is not only sharing his concerns, but he's sharing the concerns of the wider community too as well, of which I am and which you are. So again, when you have these what you call popular people, or these people who are well-to-do in society expressing concern, I mean, really and truly, we should also take note, because the fact is that we cannot continue to sit down and allow this thing to fester, which it is doing. It is because most of us, like I say every week, taking it easy and we are worried. For example, the place in Shagwanas there that had a big fete last night, sold out. Sold out. It didn't even have room. People parked by Price Mart. You ask 90% of those same people, to get together and let us make a difference. You will not get 10 of them to come out. Because you see, again, and I say it ad nauseum, the majority of people in this country, their concerns are far different from what some of us really want, and that is change and betterment. For them, change and betterment is when you're getting a little discount on the alcohol. The sad reality. Anyway, let me just welcome Gate Automation Company Limited. They're the agents for Runner and Tow, and of course, they could fix you up with sliding gates, and of course, sliding motors as well as swing motors, and of course, safety barriers. You can give them a call, 290-2311 or 673-3116. Let's go back to our slides again, guys. When I saw this, all I could do is laugh. The Port of Spain Division Police are investigating 2 men who were seen monitoring and then trying to break into the Besson Street Police Station on Sunday morning. Police said officers were on duty at 1:08 a.m. and were monitoring CCTV footage, and they noticed a white Nissan Tida parked at the top of Piccadilly Street. The officers later noticed a man get out of the car and began lingering near the police station. Police said he appeared to be conducting surveillance on the station. The officers got out of the station to confront the man when they saw him getting back into the car. As the officers approached, they fired shots at the officer and the car sped off. Police returned fire. Now, you know what is interesting? In another country, the officers would have arranged for an external vehicle, right, to bounce up them fellas and them one time. Rather than you coming out and looking to fire shots or get fired upon. You see, this is what in Trinidad, the policing in this country is so backward. It is so backward, it is unbelievable. I cannot understand for the life of me. You have a vehicle outside, which could very well be a threat to every officer in that station. So what you do, you have to use common sense. Either the officers go around or any patrol in the area, head down and check them out one time. But no, all you come out the station and hear what happening. The fellas see all you and they shoot at all you and all you shoot back and nobody ain't get hit. And this is policing in Trinidad and Tobago, which is, of course, the best in the world, right? Let's go again, guys. Now, I want to pause this for a second. According to Dr. Rowley, this wave of violence should not be seen as centered only among the African community, because the irrationality as reported appears to be the reflexes and impulsiveness of various pockets across the society. I want to ask Dr. Rowley a question. Where are those pockets located? And those pockets consist of whom? And I have said it before, when it comes to certain things, you will have a certain ethnicity getting involved. When you have a certain level of crime, you have a certain, and for every different crime, they will have a majority of one ethnicity in it, whether we like it or not. Right? But the reality of it is that the murders in Trinidad and Tobago, the gun crime, it is largely amongst the African community. And I don't know what Dr. Rowley was trying to say and what pocket that he was talking about. But the only pocket that I know is the pocket of facts. And that fact is that the murders, the black on black crime, and on Emancipation Day, it should be a reminder that this has to stop. But again, what they're going to do? Organize projects, pelt money again. And you know what is going to happen? It's going to help to empower many of the criminals and them outside here again. Not to say they are good people who would benefit. Huh? There are good people who would benefit. Let's go to our other slide, guys. Right. On the eve of emancipation, more black businesses needed. And this is why, I want to ask a question, because it has to be asked. Suppose there was a headline or a caption, more Indian businesses needed. Wouldn't we see that as being racist? Or more white businesses needed? At the end of the day, people choose different backgrounds. A lot of people from the African community go into the public service. They have never really pushed towards business, but there are many who are successful in business. The Indian community, what happens is that we grew up, our parents, some of our parents own business, and that was the direction that many of us went in. But the reality of it is that when you see headlines like this, you wonder where, really and truly, where the country going, because here what happening. At the end of the day, a business does not have to be black, white, or Indian. It must be able to benefit all and must be able to not discriminate. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we don't see them kind of thing. We cannot cookie blind. Let's go again, guys. And of course, you have those people who have everything and skin in their teeth. The goat man himself. There he is. But you know what is interesting? The same man who pushing the COVID vaccine, the same man who was talking recently about the vaccine is of no use anymore, second time around gets COVID. Second time around, here it is. The Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. Well, that was a few days ago, right? The Prime Minister, who is fully vaccinated and received 2 boosters, is experiencing very mild symptoms. Dr. Rowley will remain in isolation in keeping with the current COVID-19 protocols. Now, I want to ask you, right? In fact, here what happened. Let me play this video to remind you. Go ahead, guys.
We always knew from day one that the vaccination program is not a permanent protection, is that the effectiveness wanes after a few months. So if you were vaccinated, even if you were boosted, after a period of months, the response of your body would have been weakened and you are open to be infected again.
All I hear what the man say, right? So, in other words, all those of you who are vaccinated, it then makes sense. All those of you who are boosted, it then makes sense. Because all you went and put something in all your body that did not make sense. And not only that, you're hearing about many women now who have menstrual issues, many women who are having difficulties with headaches, breathing problems. I know a lot of young people right now who getting blood clots. And this is something that you cannot hide. Asim, did you get a chance to upload that video that there's one video I want to show you, and this is of a woman, and when you look, now the other video with the, yes, with the woman, right? I want you to take a look at this. Now, I want to make it clear that the video you're about to see, right, is a bit disturbing because it shows somebody who has a medical issue. Right? So I just, for those of you who might feel uncomfortable and watching it, you could just step aside. But this is a video that is on Facebook. A lot of people have seen it. But I want to bring it to the national population because, quite frankly, I don't understand why it is people will look to stick something in them. And you know that there were so many people getting side effects and you're going to do it again. And if that wasn't enough, you decided to do it again. We don't know if the Prime Minister takes sugar water and stick it in here, and we don't know. But we decided that here what's happening, we will go ahead and do what we feel to do. Now, first off, let me just welcome our friends, berberine, right? Berberine reduces blood sugar, increases insulin sensitivity, promotes insulin production, reduces glucose production in liver, etc., increases nitric oxide, weight loss, and lowers cholesterol. So the fact is that make sure and get it. I know a lot of people call me and quarreling. So Sid, let me know where people can get it because a lot of people call me and saying they're out of stock. So therefore, here what's happening, search and find it where you could because it sells out like that. So let's go straight to that video now.
Yes, I am Naomi Sanasi, a teacher at iFlood Primary School, and I took the Pfizer vaccine on the 15th July, and shortly after my eyes start to water, headache, severe headache, and a numbness on the left side. So I went to Woodlands Hospital to seek medical attention, and the doctor said it's a stroke called Bell's palsy, and that is due to that is a reaction of the vaccine that causes this. Now, my concern is there any help out there for me? Is anyone, the minister or an officer or the union, is there anyone to represent me? I am not crying. This eye is just watering all the time. This eye cannot close. If I have to close both of my eyes, this one is left open. My nose, all here, is hurting me. The jaw is twisted, the tongue is twisted. My tongue is numb, I cannot eat nor drink properly. The food throws away, or I bite the tongue, or sometimes I bite my lip. And this is very painful on the left side here. Very, very painful. So I wish somebody can reach out to me.
No problem.
Thanks.
Now, this video that you saw, I believe she's from Guyana. But there are people in Trinidad and Tobago, many women who are experiencing similar symptoms, but interestingly, you're not hearing about this at all. The only place you're actually seeing it is on Facebook. Or someone may highlight something with their mother, their father, or their child. And it is interesting to note that someone like this who can come forward and actually admit that it is because of the vaccine, and we are seeing this time and time and time again. And yet it is the authorities, the people who actually forced you. Because remember, they told you if you do not take it, that you will be segregated. In other words, you can't go in that restaurant, you can't go in that building, you can't come here. And in other words, they treat you like sheep, where you couldn't go here or you couldn't go there. Not only that, there were mandates put into place because you were unvaccinated. There were certain things which had to be done, and you felt like an outcast. Now, we are seeing differently, where everyone who took the vaccine now, they are an outcast like everybody else. Because now you realize that there are issues with fertility, menstrual cycles, stroke, blood clots, and I could go on and on and on, and a lot of it weighs on the Pfizer, where everybody was saying that that is the best one to take, and that is the safest one to take, and now you're hearing that that is the one with the most side effects and most problems. I want you to take a look at this Fox News report now.
Menstruating cycles and how that is affected by vaccines.
Yeah, well, the menstrual thing is something that seems to be quite transient and temporary. That's the point. That's one of the points. We need to study it more.
Oh, we need to study it more. We need to study it more. It's just like human fertility, reproducing the species, the most important event in most people's lives. We need to study it more. Oh, but it's too late. We just forced millions of women to take that drug. Sorry. So how did they release a vaccine and then make it mandatory when they didn't understand the long-term effects of the drug? That's a very good question. Here's Deborah Birx. She's the former White House COVID response director, again on Fox News.
I knew these vaccines were not going to protect against infection, and I think we overplayed the vaccines, and it made people then worry.
And I could go on and on. But what is interesting is that even Biden, the president of the US, tested positive again as well. In fact, there was a notice from his doctor, and it went out and it stated that he actually contracted the virus again. So you have the president of the United States getting COVID twice, even though he has been boosted, even though he get his shot. And here's the letter stating that, you know, he has mild symptoms, etc., etc. And how many times will we see this? But I don't want to even bother. Let's go again, guys. Let's move over to the other. Let's move over, and of course, let's thank Berberine for sponsoring this segment as we move on. Of course, let's welcome Metro, and Metro is having a massive sale on gloves right now. All you know the price of quality gloves, right? And these are excellent nitrile gloves, and these gloves are the one that don't bust up easy like some of those expired gloves that you have in the country right now. It's $60 per box. You can give them a call, 223-1900 or 7814-385, and of course they will deliver to you anyway, right? So give them a call accordingly. Let's go to our slides again, guys. Bail champion shot dead, right? That is, for me, when a man could actually fight to get bail, go to court, and the Privy Council rule that it is in accordance with the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago to grant bail to murderers, and then you get bail, and you come out, and you are murdered, you wonder if you should have stayed in jail. Remember, what you do will follow you, you know. We know that, right? I want to pull back up that front page, please, guys. And I want to deal with this issue now. Thousands affected as vandals steal TSTT's underground cables, telecom terror. Right? Imagine this is a headline in Trinidad and Tobago. But wait, come back to me. There is not one place in this country, there is not one road, there is not one village, there is not one constituency in Trinidad and Tobago that you could go to and you're seeing the cables untouched. Every single community you go in, literally millions of dollars in cables stolen, and that going on since March. What did Jacob do? He and the service did nothing. They did not put together no team. They did not put together no group to go and deal with this. They decided they're going to sit down and watch. They decided that they're going to relax. And what is interesting, we are in August right now, and this started since March. Not one scrapyard has been searched. And all you're telling me we don't have dotish people leading the police service? All you have to be joking. All you really have to be joking. Imagine all these scrapyards running all over like normal. No problem at all. They're putting up what hours, they open what hours, they close. No police has decided, no senior has decided that they will go in the middle of the night, lock down the place and search everything. Not one. The question is why? Why? If somebody lost a fridge and they're looking to go and tear down a whole community to find the bridge, minister's son phone, when Coleman Burt's son phone was missing, the whole police service was out looking for that phone. But millions of dollars in infrastructure being stolen, and you telling me that up to now, 3, 4, 5 months later, not one single scrap iron dealer yard has been searched. But not only that, we only have 8 to 9 registered copper exporters in Trinidad and Tobago, and not one single one of those licensed copper exporters have been brought over the coals. Not one single one. And all you're telling me we serious about solving crime in this country? All you're telling me that we want to make a difference, especially with that one that we have in the head in the TTPS? We ought to be mad. Let's go on to the other slide, guys. Right? We're going again. Well, this is the same thing. I want to deal with the copper thing. So let's stick to the copper files and them. I want to deal with the statement from Jacob from Oli Wright. And this is from the Guardian report. Investigators are working on the theory that thieves stole hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fiber optic cables from a TSTT installation in San Fernando, mistaking them for copper. However, the selfish act left thousands of people and businesses on TSTT networks without mobile, landline, etc. Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob was on the scene. For what? What the hell he went there for? What he could do? What could Jacob do? What has Jacob done before when there was murder, when the murder took place with the officer Gilks Indigo Martin? Jacob went there. But what Jacob went to do was to hunt down a man that was innocent. What Jacob went there to do is take the word of his officers who said that they were shut up on but they didn't realize that their officer was the one who killed their own officer. That is what Jacob went up there to do, is war on the men who shoot the police. And little did he know that the way he understood things, it was just factually dotish. But Jacob going down there now, all the time, millions of dollars in cable over your head, in front the police station, in front the police car, in front the policeman house. Nothing done. Nothing major done. And all you're telling me now, that all of a sudden, anyway, let me go on with the article. Let's go on with the article. Right? Jacob said a team comprising officers from the Special Branch, CIB, and the San Fernando CID would conduct the investigation. Look at the amount of people there. He said the TTPS views the crime as a severe infringement of the country's communication infrastructure because it posed a security risk to the communication network. I want to ask a question. Where was Jacob in March? Where was Jacob in April? Where was Jacob in May? Where was Jacob in June? Where was Jacob in July? Where the hell was Jacob all those months when the communication infrastructure of this country was being destroyed, was being burnt, was being cut, was being transported? Where the hell was Jacob and his team? Making excuses. Making excuses, and like I said, and I will say again, the only reason this has been allowed to continue, it is because of political favors. Basically, PNM boys is the one who doing a lot of what is going on here. So here what happening, allow them to get away. Allow them to get away scot-free is no problem. Elections coming up now, where you go do? You go touch them. It's criminals, and you know what is interesting? I said it before. The police service is allowing this to continue. And what they're doing is essentially empowering criminals, because the criminals taking these, the funds used from selling these cables illegally. And what do you think they're going to buy? Snow cone? No, they are going to buy things to empower themselves. Bigger gun. Bigger gun. To go and put on more work. And not only that, load up on more drugs. So the state and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is actually facilitating criminal behavior in Trinidad and criminal activities. It is state-sponsored criminal activities. Tell me a lie. Because the state ain't doing nothing about it. Every corner you look, yesterday I went down, day before I went down Bukal, Freeport, I went down Tanapuna, Faizabad, all over, all throughout Trinidad and Tobago. They where you name it, it have nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago, nowhere that a cable is untouched. Komoto, Grande, Valencia, Westmoreland, well, I don't know Westmoreland, I gotta check that one, right? But wherever you go, cables are cut, and yet it is there touching it. Let's go again, guys. Right? It appears to be malicious damage and larceny. And from speaking with the technical persons, blah, 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 blah. Right? So $1 million in damage here. And here what happening. They say that, you know, they will apprehend the criminals. Trinidad and Tobago has a dismal rate when it comes to, you know, a detection rate. When it comes to crime, it's like maybe about 3 or 4%. So for every 100 cars that's stolen, probably we just probably get about 3 or 4, and that is about it. And for every crime that is committed, for every 100, about 3 or 4%. That is what we're looking at. Let me just welcome Automax. And of course, Automax provides you with everything for your home, including cleaners as well. But they also offer you the automotive side of things, which you get the protectant. And as I said before, the components that make this up are similar to components that they use for the expensive big brands outside here. So give Ali's Motor Spares and Hardware Supplies a call, and of course tell them that you'd like to purchase wholesale, and you could distribute for them too as well, no problem at all. All right, so give them a call. Let's go again, guys. Right, and this is what I was saying. All the murders taking place in this country, you ain't look to set up a high-powered team. You know, you ain't look to do that at all. Man head get cut off and they're kicking around the man's head like a football. You are looking to establish no high-powered team, right? People getting kidnapped, young girls getting kidnapped. You established no high-powered team. But to go and do something which you should have done at the beginning, you're establishing a high-powered team now because it looks good on the media. It looks nice to say so now. Absolute, abject failure. Let's go again, guys. This gentleman, that young man in the back, and I want to hold that picture up for a second, right? This is Justin, right? And his mother, Mrs. Jiram, and his father. In 2019, Justin, whose photo is to the back there, was murdered in Kirib. Come back to me, guys. Asim, make the call. I want to speak to Mr. Jiram's father because I posted something about the failing of the TTPS. And this man wrote on my post that for 2.5 years now, he's trying to get justice for his son.
Hello?
Mr. Jiram.
Kitam.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Inchan Ishmael calling you here from IBN Channel 8.
Yes, it is.
Right. We had spoken earlier in regards to your son who was murdered in 2019, Justin. He was shot at Sammy's Gyros in Kirib. And I had put out a post recently and you responded, for 2.5 years now, you trying to get justice for your son.
Yes.
Mr. Jitam, I want you to tell me what exactly is taking place since that incident took place. What has been the, what has come forward? Is the police remaining in contact with you? What is going on with that matter?
Well, nothing at this point in time. Only when the murder has now been committed, the police came home by us on 2 occasions, and every visit after that is that they don't have any new evidence, so they can't pursue the matter any further than where it is.
Did they tell you, because that area is heavily populated with video cameras, you have CCTV footage. Did they tell you anything about any of that being available?
Far as what I know, I saw a video concerning the act itself, and I saw some photos from the police in the police station, and it is the same photos from the video that I saw concerning the murder.
So therefore, let me get this straight, if I understand this correctly, that the police have identified the perpetrator, is that correct?
They did, yes.
And what are they telling you now?
They are telling me that how, in order for them to hold the suspect, they need someone to come and identify or to say that he is the one who actually committed the crime.
So the police in Trinidad and Tobago, they don't know about holding somebody on suspicion of murder and interrogating them or questioning them. They don't know about that.
They do they had, well, I don't know if he's still there. They had someone there, but not for the murder of my son. He was there for something else. When asked about the situation with my son, they said that's how they need someone to come forward to identify him as the shooter. But they have a video, Ishmael.
Mr. Jitam, let me ask you a question. How many children do you have?
Well, two at this point.
Take your time. Take your time. I am sorry. I am sorry to have to rehash this pain. In fact, this pain has never gone away. And what happens is that when I saw your post about not getting justice for your son, 2.5 years, and then when I look at the picture of the young man, that could have been my son. So how many children you say you had? Only one?
I have 2 girls now.
2 girls. And how old was Justin when his life was taken?
27 years.
27 years. And your two daughters, how old are they?
One is 37 and one is 32.
How is your wife handling this whole scenario, knowing that you have, your son was taken, and I know it would still grieve her from now until the end of time. But seeing that there is no closure to this matter, how is she taking this?
Every day is a challenge. Up to yesterday, she started telling me, called Jay, observing the picture, and she started to cry, and we just try to comfort each other.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in front of the commissioner right now, what would you ask of the commissioner? What would you ask of the authorities right now to be done so there could be some sort of closure in this matter?
I would say it's a simple thing, why it is that how you have video evidence, you have still footage, why it is you cannot use that as evidence to prosecute somebody who has committed a heinous crime as murder.
Well, you and I know that the answer may be that the gentleman may have friends in higher places than you and I.
Well, who knows?
Mr. Jitam, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to follow up on this. Basically, which station is handling this matter, please?
Aruka.
Aruka. Oh, God, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
No, honestly, there are 3 stations in this country that I consider hold your head and ball. Aruka is one. Kunupia is the next one. Chaguanas is the next one. And one is that Kunupia and Aruka fighting to see who worse right now. Right?
Well, so in the beginning, had 2 officers who were seen about it, and this is CS every time we go. Then they change to another officer because they shift them around, and they shift the last one around again to another station. So nobody really not responding to our questions is what is the next step for us or for the police then. Every time is we have no new evidence, so we can't pursue the matter.
Well, I'll tell you something. What I will do, I will follow it up with the seniors in the station. And what I will do is that I will also talk to Inspector Alexander on this matter, because the fact is that he's on with me on a chat with several other officers too as well. So the fact is that what I will do, I'll bring it up, because I can hear the pain in your voice. And whether it is 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you lost a son. And under no circumstances, especially no father should see footage of his son being murdered. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, that day you probably went through and said, if I had probably asked him to hold back a little bit, he would not have gone there. Or you went through all sorts of things in your mind, correct?
I did.
Every option. You tell yourself, boy, if I didn't do this, maybe he would not have been there at that time, etc., etc. Mr. Jitam, I would like to thank you, and I'm sorry for putting you through this, but I make a promise to you that I will definitely try to see how I could get some senior officers involved that I know who will actually work, and see how we could get this sorted out. All right, my friend?
I appreciate that a whole lot.
Hello?
I appreciate that a whole lot.
No, and please tell your wife that there are people outside there who will try their best to see, how we could assist the family in this cause. Thank you so much. God bless you, and be safe.
You too.
And 2.5 years ago, they lost their son. And I'll just like to show you the photo again. This is Justin, who was murdered. Right? He was murdered in Kirep. And when you look at this young man, he looks like any other youth. Right? And I mean, you don't judge people from appearances, but he looked like a fella, he just looked hard. Right? But the fact is that at the end of the day, you have a son that gone out to get something to eat, boy. A man walk up to him and 3 bullets. And up to now, even though you have video evidence, even though you have identified the person responsible, not one person has been held so far. Not one. Anyway, it's that time when we need to take a break. Remember, you're watching Breaking Barriers. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. And of course, what I'll do is I'll open up the phone lines a little bit later on, where you could get a chance. For those of you who are watching us right now on Facebook, and you are watching this on YouTube, or any external link. This program is aired every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and there's a repeat as well at 9 p.m. on Saturdays. We'll be back right after this.
No more games. You always be at the table when you lose. Promise? 4110 Jigsaw. Watch it. Don't you dare. Ronix.
Introducing Berberine Plus by Aja Nutrition, a unique combination of all-natural super supplements berberine, bitter melon, and barnaba leaf. Berberine Plus is clinically proven to provide diabetic support by decreasing insulin resistance, making the blood sugar-lowering hormone insulin more effective, increasing glycolysis, helping the body break down sugars inside cells, decreasing sugar production in the liver, slowing the breakdown of carbohydrates in the gut. Available in TNT pharmacies nationwide.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And welcome back, my friends. And of course, you're watching Breaking Barriers right here on IBN Channel 8. And of course, while taking that break there, I read something where someone, their nephew, I believe, Julio Nasruddin, was also murdered. And, you have so many cases of people coming forward with their loved ones. And, when someone gets murdered, at least you want to have some level of closure. You want to be able to know that justice was served. But in Trinidad and Tobago, because of the amount of corruption in the TTPS taking place all over, you really wonder when you will get justice. Because quite frankly, we are seeing almost on a weekly basis, seniors being held for all kind of criminal activity, officers getting tied up in extorting money, and like it's just the norm. It's the norm in Trinidad and Tobago. But anyway, let's go over to other slides again. I want to show you something. And watch this. Imagine you coming out of your home, driving out of your home, and then it have these rats, these cockroaches, who will come from nowhere to look to attack you. Take a look at this video. Right? Man opening up his gate with a real small gate, Adrian. Right? Now, let us see here. Right. Going into his vehicle to exit. Exits. Now, that alone that he's doing there is a dangerous act, by the way. I mean, just the way he stopped his vehicle on the road alone is stupid. Right? I will give you that. Right? But my boy, all of a sudden, this car appears. The rats and them in the vehicle. Big cockroach. Black tinted vehicle, but the police wouldn't see that. They will come after you and I. And, right? Both of them get in, but what happens is that apparently maybe he has the transponder in his pocket. All right, Asim, if you could just come in studio for 1 second, please. Yeah, so what happens is that basically they had to run. They couldn't get a vehicle because the January 3. Crunchy. He called. Right. Come back to me, guys. All right, let me just welcome Bill Talas to this segment. And remember, Bill Talas, they could actually do home construction for you at $495 per square foot. That's $495 per square foot. Electrical, plumbing, fixtures, everything included, tiling, security doors. Give them a call, 299-4079. Or you can check them out if you need to get decking sheets, new wave sheets, galvanized sheets. They actually manufacture, right, at best prices. Let's go back to our slides again. Right? Yes. Okay, good. Now, I want to remind, let me pull this just now. I have to send this to you guys because I want to be able to remind, here we go. I want to be able to remind the population about this because it's about 3-4 times that I highlighted this. And up to now, we are not seeing anything being done by the Commissioner of Police. So therefore, I want to highlight this again, and there's a reason for highlighting it. It is simply because there's no justice where that is concerned. So let me just get this thing here now, and I'll pass it on to my guys, and they would do what is necessary. That is once I could get it here. So let me see what's happening here now, if I lost it or if I didn't lose it or whatever. Right, here we go. Just bear with me a second, guys, while I organize this and pull this through. Right, oops, here we go. Almost, right, good, got it. Right, Asim, I'm sending some of you now. We had posted this up before. I want you to put that on it, put that for me up, please. Right, so I'm sending direct to you now via WhatsApp. Right, so Asim, right, guys, all right, haven't seen it read as yet. Asim, if you could just go through that and put it up on the timeline now for me, please. Good. Right, so I want to get this, I want to tie this into what I'm about to show you. Now, many of you would have remembered that I had a matter with a gun charge which turned out to be a lie, which turned out to be police trying to set me up in partnership with a civilian. In other words, the police and the civilian cook up a story to set me up on a gun charge. And of course, the matter was dismissed. All 3 charges were dismissed because the judge basically said, it have no case to answer here. It did not even go to trial. There was no case really to answer. Right? So the fact is that when you look at that and the officers who were involved, you have my boy Smith, ASP Smith, who cussed me about my mother. And he's an officer of the law. Now, here what's happening. This same Smith, I want you to take a look at this, which I showed 2 times before. But I just want to show you this again. Right? Load that up. Right. This is from the Police Complaints Authority. And it's addressed to Indira Clarence Raghunanan. Complaint from 2017 made by Indira Clarence Raghunanan to the Police Complaints Authority. Recommendation for consideration to be given to the institution of criminal and disciplinary proceedings, right? And the PCA wrote to her on August 9, 2021, which is, pull that back up, let me see the date again. August the 9th. It's going to be a year soon that the PCA wrote. I referred and here it goes on to say, the PCA has concluded its investigation into your allegation that the sum of $11,000 was removed from your vehicle on February 9, 2017. I have assessed all the information gathered and have formed the opinion that the criminal offense of misbehavior in public office and the disciplinary offense of discreditable conduct may have occurred. In the circumstances, a recommendation has been made to the office of the DPP, right, for consideration to be given to the institution of criminal proceedings against Superintendent Smith for misbehavior in public office and the Commissioner of Police. So the Commissioner of Police was told, right, that this man, they should look at discreditable conduct. Up to now, Jacob has done nothing. Up to now, going into a year, Jacob has done nothing. So, here what's happening. You have this. You have the court expressing concern about my arrest and what took place and how I was set up. That is the next thing again, Jacob. So that's two so far. Well, let me go to the third one now. Come back to me, guys. I'm about to show you the video where Ansar Mohammed and Isaac Ghani, they were arrested. When I was arrested, they were arrested too as well by Smith on the compound. And I want to show you what Smith did that young man. And by the way, the matter was thrown out this week in court, where they were charged for obstructioning, right? Now pause right there, pause. Guys, is it possible to zoom into this video? No? Okay. What's something? Watch the amount of police. And by the way, right, I want you to get to the top left-hand side where Ansar is. Right? Right, good. Go to the other side. Right, go again, go again, go again. Right, I want you to stay there. Now, this is Ansar there recording, doing nobody nothing. And by the way, one soft-spoken young man, don't get involved in no bacchanal. And the officers and them there, by the way, we have 4 entrances, 2 were open, right? 2 entrances were open. So let's continue with the video. There he is walking, minding his business, right? Now watch this. Watch this. Right. Good. Right, good. I want to show all this something, right? Let us play back that part again. He was doing absolutely nothing except recording. And Smith came up to him, accosted him, grabbed him by the neck, by the jersey there, and charged him for obstruction. Watch. Watch the clown. Watch this stupid clown. Right? And this is the man. This is the same man that the court spoke about in regards to my arrest. But we still have he in khaki. We still have him in the Trinidad Police Service. And we expect there not to be problems when you have fellas like them. No, 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 no. Let us show it one more time. Here, run this video. Right? I was in the back seat of the car. Right? That is when they took me. And that is when Smith telling me your mother this and cussing and leg and pressure. Right? Now watch this again. This video is what the same Ansar, right? Ansar was filming. You see the video that you saw just now? This is from his viewpoint. I'll play the audio, guys. Let's go ahead. Play the audio. Good. Play it back to the end. And Smith telling he don't make yourself a ASS. Right? And that is senior police for you, know. That is senior police. We're going again. Play it back.
Don't make yourself a manslaughter.
Good. This is strike 3. Strike 1 was the PCA letter. Strike 2 was my matter in which I was set up with gun charges. Strike 3 is this. And yet it is Jacob still have Smith there. No, here happening. DPP Act, nobody has yet, you know. But that same man coming to charge you. Right? And this is what they did to our gate. Yeah. This is what they did to our gate. Of course, we were reimbursed. When I won the case, we were reimbursed for the repairs to the gate and etc. Watch him. Big and bad in khaki uniform. Big and bad in khaki uniform. Right? Well, let me tell you something. All I can tell you is that time longer than twine. That is all I'm saying. Time longer than twine. Justice does come. Justice has come. And that is all I said. Justice does come. Sometimes it does take long, but it does come. All right, so let me just thank Bill Talas and let's move on, guys. All right, let me just welcome RPM. And remember, RPM Express Couriers is where you can actually get your packages on time. Within a week, within 10 days' time, you have your packages being delivered. All you have to do is give them a call, 2244 RPM. And of course, you could hook up absolutely free. You could check them out, RPM Express Couriers, and you could check them online, and you could actually register online as well. All right, guys, let's go on again. Yeah, let's move to that. Check this out now. This is Trinidad and Tobago. This is what I love about Trinidad and Tobago, right? So this is what we allow. This is what we allow politicians to do us, where our vehicles cannot even pass, and we strip it and we sit down and we take it and we take it and we take it, right? This is what we encourage. Sad to say, really sad to say. Look at that now, man. And they're spending $15 billion, which may be the amount, on Invaders Bay, which nobody wants. They're going to bring electric buses. For what? Who getting the contract to bring the electric buses? Who won that? Come back to me, guys. Right? So what we'll do is that, let me pop the our phone numbers on the screen there. Right? For those of you who aren't aware, this program, the studio phone numbers, right? For those of you who aren't aware, this program is actually live, coming to you from the studios of Breaking Barriers. Of course, today being Emancipation Day, there will be a repeat of this program on Wednesday evening. And of course, as I said before, what we're going to do is that we're doing, I know we still have to run through, but one is that in the meantime, in the interim, we will take some calls in between. So for those of you who are watching right now, you can actually call in, and of course, we could take your feedback accordingly. All right, so let's go to the other slide, guys. Okay. Yeah, hello?
Afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. Yes, go ahead, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ishmael. I just want to raise an issue.
Go ahead.
I just want to raise an issue down in Sally Bay.
Right, go ahead.
Down in Sally.
All right, listen to your
have a
telephone.
bypass road being...
Caller, listen to your telephone, not your television. If you listen to your television, you will get confused because there's a 5-second delay. So listen to your telephone only, please. Hello? Hello?
Okay, so the minister making a bypass road in Sally Bay, Minister Sinanan, and he said...
Yes, go ahead.
He don't have money to fix the road. I understand that is his land here.
All right, but we could check on that. I mean, I have no proof of that, and you have not provided me with any proof. So I will have to check on it because I can't say without a doubt that it is his land. It could be, as well as it could be 10,000 other people. So therefore, I could check on that. An easy search will provide me with the details. All right, thank you very much, caller. Right, so again, without the information of providing proof, I can't say whether it is the land that X is being done or Y is being done, but if it is, it would not be the first time, because what happens is that, remember, as I mentioned on last week's program, there were 200 plus, nearly 300 times when ministers and senior members of government had recused themselves because there were things to benefit their family, their friends, people who they know. And like I say, we just digest that. But I just want to tell you one more time that we are having this big gathering on August the 31st, and it's to take place hopefully at Arangway Savannah. And you will see the slide coming up on your screen now, right? I want you to be part of this. And it's on August the 31st, Independence Day, when we all will come together and say enough is enough is enough, right? On the 31st. So I want you to remember that day, and I want you to come down. All right? All right, guys. Let's go to the other slide, please. And remember, as I said before, you can call in, because what happens is that I know this program is not shown this hour. So many of you wondering if the program is live. Yes, it is live. And yes, this program will be repeated on Wednesday. So let's go to the other slide, guys. Debe, this is the remnants of a vehicle that crashed in Davie. An area that is well known because the highway just suddenly ends and becomes a roundabout. I mean, there's no part of this car that you can consider good. You can't even recognize the model of car. It has some other photos there, guys. Could we run through the photos? This is, I mean, to see a car in this condition, you know there can be no survivors where this is concerned. I mean, condolences to the family, because to lose someone like this, and then the amount of times people have been begging and pleading and asking for some assistance where this is concerned to put proper signage. And we have the video as well, which Edward Moody had done. And I want to just show that video now, guys.
So look at the darkness here. As I put on my light, look at the difference. There's a big problem here, people. Big problem. From a distance, this roundabout and the end of the highway is too dark, and the lighting towers are shining straight in your eyes and not on the roundabout.
For, I believe, years, people have been begging for some solution to this. Now, it is simple. About a mile before, right? You could put up road ends, right? Road ends ahead. And then about 500 to 800 meters before, you put what? Road ends, slow down. And you mark that on the road itself, right? You put it on the road itself. So here what happened? Somebody had to be blind and stupid not to see that. But you see, in Trinidad, if you go to paint that little area, what is going to happen is that somebody have to get a contract for $1 million. Or, you know what, they have to come up with something where you had to put a digital signboard. It has to take a lot of money to stop that now. Because you see the amount of people die. It's not Rohan family who died there. It's not Rowley's family who died. It's a regular Joe. And I'm shocked that people are losing their family members to this. And, I mean, how all it could be silent? I mean, yes, all you lost a loved one. And that should be now, should be the time all you should be opening up all them out. Now is the time all you should be having a press conference by all your home, right? Where all you're calling on the minister and all you're calling on the people in charge to act and do something. But you're not hearing that, you're not seeing anything, because simply this is the type of people we are, lackadaisical. We do nothing, right? We stick and we stick and we stick and we take it. Now, imagine just seconds before when that young man realized that here was happening, too late is he crying. Now, let me make it clear. Speed also plays an important role in the destruction that takes place there as well. Let us not hide that fact. Let us not pretend that the cars that you're seeing was going 100 kilometers per hour. Many fellas that get down and speed, and then, I'm not saying that in this case, you have a lot of these limers who just be outside there, drunk and toxic, because now in Trinidad we have rail bars on the highway. We have rail bars on the main road. So you have rail places for people to go and load up and get drunk and go on the roads and distress people. But you see, again, after a certain hour, you don't see police on the road again. I surprised Jacob come out and say there will be more police patrol. Because anytime somebody dead on the road, the police will come out and say, hey, happening, we will have more highway patrols, X, Y, and Z. But the police can't be here, there, and everywhere at the same time. Let's go to the other slide, guys. This is what the sign looks like heading down to Davie Junction, Davie Roundabout, to the roundabout here off the Solomon Hochoy Highway. This is the signage. Let's go again. This is what it looks like. You can't tell if there is a sign or if there is bush. And this is, as I say before, this is not something that is common. This is not something that you see every single day. It is not something that that happens in 100 different areas. It is certain areas that this go on. It is certain areas that it happen right through and nothing is done. For example, in bamboo number 2 here, I don't know how many, Asim, I think the video with the truck, I had sent it for them to get that for me where I had shown, I think, last week, where the truck had actually capsized right by bamboo number 2 here because of poor signage, because you have 2 lanes and one end almost immediately. There's no, the left turn arrow gone, it's missing. There's no signage in front. There's nothing reflective. Man, right? Right, so watch the truck here. A fully loaded truck flip because of stupidity of the Ministry of Works and Transport. Pure stupidity and nothing else. Let me just thank our friends from, our good friends from Extra Care Products. Remember, Extra Care is available at supermarkets, at mini-marts nationwide, and of course, you could give them a call if you don't have it stocked in your area. Let's move along to Rita now, guys. Right, let me just welcome Rita to this segment. And for those of you who don't know, Rita is one of those drinks that not only have real fruit ingredients, plus it gives you a boost. Plus, they're the only one that really have the real taste in basil seed drinks on the market. There are 2 that are outside there, but you would find that they don't have the real basil seeds or they don't have the flavor like Rita. So you could give them a check at the supermarkets, or if you're looking for something to refresh yourself, of course, Rita is it. Right, so just a reminder that this program is being aired live on IBN Channel 8 and on Facebook. And one is that we are about to nearly wrap up because we have almost run out of time. But I just want to remind you of a few things as we are about to wrap up. Number 1, I want people to be part of this assembly that we are planning on the, guys, you can take down the numbers here. What happens is that the assembly that we are planning on the 31st, I want you to be part of it. So again, this is to take place on the 31st of August, and we are looking at around West Savannah. And for those of you who would like to be part of it, for those of you who would like to be part of the planning committee, you can WhatsApp me 684, come back to me, guys, 684-4762. That's 684-4762, right? Give me a call, give me a WhatsApp. Let me know if you would like to be part of the process, because we need everybody on board with us. Because as I said before, many people complain. They complain about health issues. They complain about drainage issues, complain about road issues. We are amalgamating everybody together so that all common issues will come under one roof. We are putting together everybody so that we can try and make a difference. We are making sure that people who have small issues come together, people who have big issues come together. And what we're doing too as well, for those people like Mr. Jitam, who I spoke to earlier on, and to the others who have texted me, if you have family members who have been murdered, walk with banners, massive banners, walk with posters showing your loved one. And this is what we plan to do. But as I said before, this could only be successful if you and your family decide to come out. We're going to repeat 2007. For example, for those of you who aren't aware, in 2007, I had the largest shutdown. In fact, my group and I, One Voice, we had the largest shutdown in the history of this country. 95% of the country shut down. Many of you may not be aware of it, especially the youth. But that took place when 95%, where Vindra was murdered, and we decided to have this shutdown. And the country came together. Schools were closed, businesses were closed. The only place that remained open was, guess where? We boys and them in Port of Spain. Because you see, they were not affected. So they decided that here they will remain open without an issue. Guys, let's thank Rita for sponsoring this segment as we move on again. And of course, we welcome Rands. And remember, whatever you are making, Rands have a product that will suit you for your kitchen. It doesn't matter if it's baked, if it's fried. They can supply you with the rice. They could supply you with the oil. They could supply you with the canned goods. They could supply you with the sardines. Give them a call at 744-5555 or 682-9903. Yeah, just as I was saying before, many of us sit down and we allow it and we take it, and one is that it goes on and on. But now we are getting an opportunity, like we did in 2007, to come together and to really, really, really make a difference. So for those of you who live in a particular area, I want you to tell your family and your friends and everybody else to come out. We are going to get communities involved. For those of you who have maxi taxis and you want to sponsor maxi taxis, for those of you who like to sponsor the audio trucks, because what we are doing, about 1 week before, we plan to hit throughout Trinidad and Tobago, where we go from community to community, pushing this message for people to come out. And this is for August the 31st, when we plan to come together. Well, this is where I have to wrap it up now. And of course, I do apologize. What happened is that, number one, we could not have done the program the way I wanted to on Wednesday. So what happened is that we just did, we did this because we have absolutely no choice. And of course, I know I'll get cuss and quarrel if I don't show up on a Wednesday night. So I will catch you next week, Wednesday, for, of course, the full episode of Breaking Barriers. And not only that, there's a repeat of this program on Saturday. And just a final, remember, my number, 6844762. WhatsApp me if you would like to be part of that event that we are planning on August the 31st. All right, so take care, folks. God bless you. Have a safe one outside there. Be safe on the roads. And remember, to the children outside there, be careful where you're going for holidays. And those children who are in the malls, parents, keep your eyes on them. Don't just drop your 10-year-old at the mall. That nonsense have to stop. All right? So on behalf of all of us, God bless you. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Oh, one last thing before I forgot. There's a massive bazaar we are planning on the 21st of August. It's a back-in-time bazaar at the Baraka grounds. So we look forward to all your support. Long time, never participated in something like this. So it's on the 21st of August. Mark that day. So we look forward to you and your whole family being part of it. What happens is that you will get your chance to dunk me, which, well, remember as I said before, the person who dunking is the dunker, and the one who is being dunked is the donkey. All right, so all the best, folks. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.